If you've played golf for any amount of time, you have undoubtedly felt rushed in your golf swing. This video is going to show you how to not feel that anymore. Today's video, you're going to learn why you feel rushed in your swing, and we're going to show you what you need to do instead to not feel rushed, then of course, how to incorporate that into your golf swing. What's the most common reason golfers are rushed in the downswing? Yeah. Or just feel rushed in the swing in general?
I think there's two. So one of them is if you make a overly kind of slow and deliberate takeaway here.
Yep.
In the beginning, you got to find some energy and speed somewhere.
Low and slow, right? How many of us tried that? I did that for a long time.
You know, you need to find some momentum here somewhere. So what golfers normally do, they start slow and then they speed it up going into the top. This club's gaining speed when they're trying to change direction, and then when they grab it, it just feels so mistimed, and that's the first feeling of quick.
Especially as the club gets longer.
Especially as the club gets longer. Quick feeling number two is when we've kind of like discovered in the last couple of years, I would say, where people get rushed. They start back and then they maximally turn all the way to the top where everything finishes together, and then as soon as they grab it, they get that kind of rushed feeling. There's no feeling in there that they can wait on it, which is a great way to play golf. And if you've ever felt it, you know what I'm talking about.
It's the timing of how your backswing unfolds. Think of your backswing in two parts. You have the first half of your backswing, then the second half of your backswing. You want this first half to be faster, where the club's accelerating off the ball, and then you want it dying into the top. If you do that the opposite, and we've done videos of this in the past where we put pro swing, amateur swing, and they were literally the opposite. Pro fast early, am slow early, pro slow late, am fast late. That's your rush feeling. Now let's show you what needs to happen to get rid of that feeling. Before we dive into the what, make sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. YouTube tells us most of you haven't, so these videos are helping. Make sure to subscribe, leave us a comment. Let us know what you're working on in your game. That helps us make more videos tailored to what you need to work on. And also make sure to click, if you want more training than what you're seeing in this video about this topic, right? It's gonna help you hit more consistent shots. Make sure to click that link in the first pinned comment down below. That'll take you some more training, and of course, it's all free. The what? What needs to happen instead of why they're feeling rushed? So again, a couple things, right? Two very simple thought processes. The first one is, get some energy here into the system early. Let's look at that for a second. How to do that? Is it just moving the arms faster? We want to take advantage of the body here. It's a body movement, and I'm skipping ahead here a little, but the thing that I used to help golfers the most, and we help them the most, is the thought process of the elephant's trunk. Right. If it was going to swing the trunk, the head of the elephant, which is the body, slings the trunk to get it going, and then the trunk just dies up here as it's finishing the backswing. So that will give you the thought process of, okay, I got to use my bigger muscles to sling this club to the top with just enough energy to let it die as it reaches the top of the backswing. A good thought to have for this is think of the golf swing as a push in the backswing, a push in the downswing. In the backswing, I'm pushing off this leg and pushing my left side of my body back. That lets me create that much faster speed rather than a slow pull. And that also, side item loads the muscles more effectively so they can stretch and contract. Now, the other part of this is how the big muscles, again, they're speeding up, right? So as I speed up the system here in the beginning, let's just talk about the hips. They turn in the backswing direction at a certain rate of speed, and then they're decelerating. Well, you don't want to turn the hips all the way maximally at the same time that the club is finishing, because you're just going to grab it, it's going to get quick. So a feeling, I know we always say you feel and real and all that, but something that's helped a lot of golfers is that once you kind of pump the energy into the system here, almost feel like the body stops a little earlier and let the arms just finish. And that little bit of difference gives you that feeling of being able to, we call it kind of wait, you could feel like you could wait all day. So it's this sling, arms and club finish, and I'm just sitting here waiting to unwind, and what a great feeling to have that extra little bit of time when you're playing on the golf course. And if you want to look up the definition of what Shaun just describes in the dictionary, you can see Chris Kirk's picture. So we've gotten to work with him and his coach. We're going to overlay his swing on here so you can see exactly what Shaun's saying. There's speed early, and then late is kind of just the arms kind of just floating up there and finishing So you're now in position. It's like driving in fast into a hairpin turn. You don't want to do that. You want to go fast out of the turn, slow into the turn. And this is the hairpin turn in the golf swing, is that going into the top of the swing, coming out. That's why golfers feel rushed.
And it's why you see the maximal hip turn in gears is not at the top of the swing.
It's not.
It's the hips have already reached their max peak. They've decelerated to where they're not turning anymore, and the arms float and finish. And right before they finish, you get going the other way. And that little bit of, middle of the swing, we would say,
Right.
again, gives you that just a tiny bit more time, which is a good feeling when you're under a little bit of pressure on the golf course.
We always like to think that our brain can make things happen instantly. That's why golfers, think when they try to hit a 3/4 swing, they're usually wind up here, even though they think they stop here. We're flesh and bone.
Yeah, most of it.
We're flesh and bone, and nothing happens instantly. So when this stops, there's going to be some carry on and some stretch happening. You've got to use that to your advantage to create a really dynamic golf swing. What Shaun just described is exactly how to do it. What Chris just showed you is exactly how to do it. All right, so the how to incorporate this. So really simple drill. And I want everyone watching this to embrace the simple. Right? So often players are looking for the complicated things to do, and you're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. You want to do these simple drills because they have such an impact and they're easy to do. So we love giving golfers this drill to kind of learn this sequencing is what it is and the timing for it.
Yeah, if I had one drill to give everybody that would probably make them better, it's this one particular, we call it a motion drill. It's taking the driver, it could be any club, but taking the driver, let's say, you don't even need a ball yet, starting it in a forward position. So let's say 3 feet in front of the ball, butt of the club's pointed back at your belly button.
Right.
Trail heel off the ground
Yep.
a little bit. So I've kind of turned and faced that position with my belly
So it's
button.
not just an arm move.
No, it's not this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my heel down and I'm gonna turn my body, is that like the head of the elephant, the body of the elephant or the head is swinging the trunk. So it's heel down, sling it back, and then right in here, after I've kind of done my initial kind of sling or pump the energy in here, the rest of it, I'm just letting the club and the arms kind of finish. And it's just,
Let me get out of your way so you can go ahead and do it.
Heel down, and you can feel that. And then we do one more so they can kind of like heel down, sling it, and you can see my arms. Watch how smooth. It ends up looking super smooth up here, and I never understood why a lot of players like Chris Kirk, I'm like racking my brain. And when
Right.
you and I came and looked, we're like, I see now. Then we verify it with gears, and then, okay, we see what's happening. There's a little additional stretch here at the end that gives that extra time.
Right, and there's a difference between runoff, which nobody wants, and what we're talking about here. This is all done in the timing and the speed of everything. That's such a good drill to do, and when you're filming yourself doing it, as you should be, watch for that kind of float of the arms. You should see that little and then go. You don't want to see that.
That's
you
the
watch the
kiss of
club
death.
head start to bounce around, you know you're adding too much speed at the wrong part of the backswing.